Hey everybody, this video is going to cover how to do an oil change on a 2020 Ninja 400. Alright, so this one's about as easy as it gets. We got our drain bolt down here. It's a 17mm bolt, and the oil filter, which is right here. So I'll show you how to remove those in a minute. And then also when we're about ready to get the oil filled back up, there's the oil fill cap right there. First step is to remove the drain bolt. I usually fire the bike up, let it get hot. That way everything drains faster and better. Let's see here. So we got a 17mm drain bolt. Let that run. You got a drain bolt washer. I'm going to go ahead and replace that. So I'm going to remove this piece of plastic here so you can see what I'm doing. This is a 5mm Allen bolt. Remove that. We have two 4mm Allen screws here. And a plastic clip right here we're going to remove. So the easiest way I found to do that is grab a flat blade screwdriver, pry that button out, and then pull the whole clip out. Now we can remove this lower fairing right here. And now we can see that the next step while we're draining the oil is to remove your oil filter. So this is a K&N or maybe a high flow Filtro, and it's got the 17mm nut on there, which makes it really easy to remove. All right. Now that we got those two draining, I'm going to let it drain for maybe 10 to 15 minutes to get a full, complete drain. And just so you know, this drain pan I'm using, I got it at Harbor Freight. And I really like it because it's super thick plastic, and it's got a spot to hold the oil filter in place and let that drain. So that was a really nice buy I got at Harbor Freight. So I got everything laid out. While the oil's draining, I'm going to clean the drain bolt here, make sure the threads look good, and grab a new drain bolt washer. Alright, now that I let the bike drain for a good few minutes, I'm going to reinstall the drain bolt. I want to make sure that this surface is nice and clean. I installed a new drain bolt washer. You want to do that every time. So I'll go ahead and install that. Torque it down. Okay. Next we're going to inspect the area where the oil filter seals. You want to make sure that's clean and that the old oil filter O-ring didn't stick on that surface. So that's very, very important. So I'll go ahead and wipe that area. And reinstall the new oil filter. Screw on the new oil filter. And when that O-ring touches, you want to give it about another 3/4 to a full turn. Next, I'll wipe off any oil, anything that is oily. One thing I like to do is to measure how much oil came out. Kind of curious, and also gives me a good idea of how much to put back in there, so I'm not guessing. So when I refill the oil, I'm going to start with about 2 quarts, 2 liters, check the oil and go from there. So now we need to remove the filler plug. And we're going to start with a couple quarts of synthetic blend on this one, and then see where we're at in the window right there. Alright, so that was 2 quarts, and as you can see, it's pretty much filled up here. There is a little bubble at the top, so that's perfect. Next step would be to fire the bike up for about 5 seconds and make sure that the oil light turns off. And then I'll let it sit for a few minutes and then double check the oil level. So I'll put the filler cap back on. Alright, Go ahead and fire it up. And we're looking to make sure that red light goes out. That's it. So the reason why we did that was to fill the oil filter with oil and to prime the oil pump and oil pressure system. Next step would be to let the bike sit for a couple minutes, and then we're going to double check the oil level, top it off if necessary. Alright, so I let it sit for a few minutes. The oil level went down a little bit. It's right in the middle, which is just fine. I'm going to add a little bit because I like it to be about 2/3 to 3/4 of the way up. So I'll go ahead and just top that off. Oil level's good, filler cap is nice and tight, we're good to go. So that was the oil change on a Ninja 400 2020. They're all pretty similar. That's about as easy as it gets. You don't necessarily need to remove that lower fairing to do the job, but I just did that so you guys can just see what I'm doing. So you got to make sure that you're checking your oil levels on a regular basis, and you got to make sure you check it upright and level, not on the side stand and not on a hill. That way you'll get the most accurate reading in the window. So I hope that was clear and concise for y'all. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, I got plenty of other videos to watch, so check them out. See you next time.